Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Umar Ahmad. I'm your new instructor for the course which is based on building information modeling using Revit. So the last instructor was not able to continue the lectures because of some reasons, and I'll be your new instructor. I'll be explaining you guys how you can create a professional project in Revit. Since I have extensive experience in this industry, I'll show you guys how you can create a project from scratch. You can earn freelancing projects and can earn for yourself, for your family, and can survive in this crucial world. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, this lesson is about how you can make a project in Revit from scratch. In this lessons, I'll first of all show you guys how you can create a template. What is a template? Template is basically a file that you save for yourself, and you can use those templates multiple times in upcoming projects. That means if you create a template, you can easily replicate that into other projects. So let's open Revit for a moment and I'll explain you guys from scratch. So basically this is the GUI or graphic user interface of Revit. You can see that everything is pretty easy to understand. We have our construction models, we have our sample architecture plans, we have our sample structure project, sample electrical project, and others as well. And over here we have a pretty decent layout. So this is for families. We are not creating any families in Revit. We call families as windows, doors, etc. These are called as families which are pre-built in Revit. But since we are not creating a family, we are creating a model. So we'll create on new. Click on new and you will see that we have two interfaces. One is in imperial and one is metric. Since as for Pakistan construction standard, we will move towards imperial because it's in inch and feet. We'll click on that, we'll click on OK, and you will see that a new user interface will pop up. Since it's loading at the moment, and everyone knows that Revit is a bit of heavy software, so it takes some time. So what can we see on the screen at the moment? We can see multiple things. Like for for a moment, we can see that we have project browser on the right hand side. Project browser is basically the sections where you can navigate. For example, we have the floor plans. It's level 1 and level 2 being shown over here. We have then our floor plans, which is basically the site plan, and we have our elevations, which I'll open up by clicking on this plus, and you can see we have our east, north, south, and west. So you can dive into this in detail. The Revit has changed its UI a lot in this 2024 version, but we'll stick to the basics because Revit is still the same. It's just that the interface is modified, but everything else is the same. So yeah, I mentioned earlier that we will be creating a template file and we'll move towards that in a moment. But first I'll explain you guys what is this user interface actually. Over here you can see the properties. Currently we haven't selected any property and it's the default settings on the screen that is visible to you. So if you select anything on the screen, it will entirely change the viewpoint or the view dialog box which which is over here. It will be changed by through these settings and will not interrupt with the default settings because it's currently set as default. That's why. So let's get started. uh, yeah, so basically you can see the screen is a bit messed up. We have these central lines, we have this section, and we have this project boundaries shown over here. What I'll do is I'll select these by clicking on the left mouse button and dragging it straight across this, and afterwards I click right click and select this option by clicking on hide in view. I'll click on elements and there you go, it's gone. Similarly, I'll select these two elements and this time I'll press enter because Revit will remember the last command forever. So I have previously selected hide elements And now I'll click enter, and you can see that the elements are gone now. Since Revit remembers the last command that has been selected, so this time we are currently working in hiding view, and I'll keep it as it is because this is our scale and this is our north, project north. So let's get started. Similarly, for saving the template, what you have to do is you have to move into these sections. Over here you can see that there are other things as well, and I'll select those and I'll then press enter. So all of those features are now gone. Similarly, I click on north, and there you go. I select them, I press enter, gone. I'll apply the same methodology for everyone. So I cleared the level 1 and I cleared the north, south, east, west directions, and now I click on the home screen. So over here you can see that it's also very interrupted, and one cannot understand it easily. So I'll select the entire thing and I press enter. So the screen is now clear. Similarly, we have our default wall, which I'll modify for upcoming projects. So I click on that, I click duplicate, and I save the name as building information modeling walls. You can name anything. It totally depends on you, but you have to name your walls. For this purpose, I'm making BIM tutorials for you guys, so I'm naming it as BIM walls. I click on OK, I click on edit, and I click on these three dots. So it will open up this dialog box. And over here, what I'll select is brick. So you can see that we have our brick common and we have our brick soldier post. For for traditional construction practice in Pakistan, we'll select brick common, and I'll click on OK, and I'll change thickness from 8 inches to 9 inches. I'll also then click on OK, and you can see that the thickness of the wall is changed. There are other parameters, but we'll look into those things after some time. And yeah, so basically the wall is now created in Revit, and I'll click on OK, and there you go. Our wall is now saved. I'll press escape for a moment since we are creating the template files, and then I will click on the roof section. So oh yeah, basically for the roof we have to be in um, yeah, we have to be in the roof section, but for the moment we'll edit the property. So I'll click on edit, same like the wall. I'll click on duplicate, and I'll rename the name BIM dash roof. You can name it anything. For me, it's recently the lecture, so that's why I'm naming it BIM, so that I can recall it easily. I'll click on OK, and I'll click on edit, and then I'll click on edit again, and I'll try proof. Maybe I'll get something. So you can see that there are a bundle of things over here. We have roofing, we have asphalt shingles and other materials. But since in Pakistan most of the roofs are made of concrete, so we'll select concrete. And there you go, we have concrete masonry units, we have concrete cast in place, and I'll select this one. I'll double click it, and I'll change the thickness from 9 inches to 5 inches or 4 inches. It's totally dependent on you. I'll select 4 inches for the moment, and I'll click on OK. I'll click on OK, and there you go, we have our BIM roof created. I'll click on X. Yes, and there you go, we have created our wall and our roof successfully. And afterwards, the last thing that we have to create for our template is the floors. So I'll click on floor. You can see the default thickness is 12 inches, which is a lot. So I'll edit it, I'll create a duplicate, and I'll rename the name as BIM, BIM dash floors. And there you go, we have we have our name changed to BIM floors. I'll click on edit. I'll click on this thing again, and I'll select concrete again, since floors are typically made of concrete as well, just like um, the roof. So we'll select cast in place, and we'll change the thickness of this floor from 1 feet to probably 6 inches. Thick slab is pretty decent, and we'll click on OK. I'll click OK again, and we have our floor properties saved. Presently we do not have anything modeled, so I'll click on quit and click on yes, and then we'll save this file for our future reference. So you click on file, you go to save as, and click on uh, yeah. You don't have to create it as a template, you just have to save it for yourself. So I have created a folder on desktop, and there you go, we have our BIM tutorials, and I'll create a file named as reference file. I'll click on enter, I'll click enter again, and sorry, I don't know why this is not showing. Yeah, there you go. So we'll name it as concrete, um, or you can say construction drawings template. Sorry, drawings template. I'll click on save, and there you go. We have successfully created our BIM files for Revit. This is the standard template which we'll be using for every single project. So what it does is it saves you dozens of time. You don't have to invest a lot of time over and over again just to create these files, and uh, it will definitely help you a lot in your future. So that was all for this project. We'll start the next lecture by creating a typical floor plan in Revit along with its annotation, the 3D modeling, and its other parameters as well. So thank you so much everyone for watching me. I hope you will definitely love the lessons, learn a lot from me, and I hope that I will help you somehow for your growth aspect. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Goodbye.